good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is when you're watching this, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be talking about one of the most boring parts of overlanding, in my opinion, and that is what?
A first aid kit.
A first aid kit. Doesn't sound that exciting, but the reality is that if you need it, you're going to wish you had it. And being as extreme as I like to be, I can foresee us needing it in the future. So if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And when we get back, we're going to dive into first aid kits.
I'm actually excited about this one.
She's excited about this one. Here we go.
I ain't no altar boy. I ain't no yes man. No, no. You ain't no God of mine. No, I don't need your blessings to save me.
Okay, first aid kits. Everyone needs them. The one we've had was pretty much worthless.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
It was about the size of the bonus mini kit that Surviveware sends you with your
Large kit.
So obviously traveling with a 9-year-old boy who can tend to be a bit reckless, we have been seriously considering what first aid kit to get that's going to be comprehensive enough for us in the event that something would happen. Now, knock on wood, nothing has happened yet, but the likelihood of something happening is pretty high.
Yes.
And Mom, being Mom, wanted us to have what we can say is the most comprehensive first aid kit that we could find. So, that being said, the kit that we chose to purchase, we actually purchased 2 kits. Now, for the record, Surviveware doesn't pay us to say this. Wish they did, but they don't. Maybe they will one day, but right now they don't. So we chose to go with the Surviveware large kit. If I continuously forget what kit we have, it's because first aid is the last thing on my mind. It's never a top priority. I know it should be, but the reality is when we're traveling, I'm not always worried about what first aid kit we have, but I will feel more comfortable now that we have one. So this kit from Surviveware is the large kit, and if you hear things like that motorcycle in the background, we're outside, so we apologize, but that's just what it's going to have to be today. So the Surviveware first aid kit, why did you choose it? Why was this the one that you said, okay, this is the one I want?
It comes with 200 basic life-saving essentials. Everything is latex-free. None of us have a latex allergy. However, I'm sure many of users of first aid kits do, and that's a huge concern of people's. Another reason is it is labeled. So when a situation does arise when we need to break out this first aid kit because Cohen is wielding around an axe, cutting trees, making swords, and all this other stuff, the last thing that we are going to want to do is stumble around on a first aid kit to find what we need. The other thing that I liked about it is water resistant on the inside and the outside. So if we take all the stuff out of the Jeep and we leave it out and first aid kit isn't something always on your mind, you forget to put it back in the Jeep and it rains, it's going to be fine and the things inside aren't going to be ruined.
Why did we buy 2 of them though?
Because we were excited.
I wasn't that excited.
One for the boat.
One for the boat.
And one for the Jeep.
And one for the Jeep. Because the boat is a huge portion of our life, and that is where I would say more dangerous activities go down than just about anywhere else.
And the boat's really sharp.
And the boat has a bunch of really sharp edges for some reason. So this is the mini kit that you get with the large kit. Now the mini kit comes, it's still got scissors. I mean, it's got a pretty good amount of stuff in it, and I think this would be for if we're backpacking and we don't want to carry this thing around.
Yeah.
I was talking to Amanda, who is the owner of Surviveware, and I guess her husband is who
also, it is husband and wife owned.
It is husband and wife owned, which we obviously love. And she said her husband is extremely OCD, and that's why everything is labeled exactly how it's supposed to be. So they've put a lot of thought into this. This first aid kit, how much was it? Do you remember?
It was a little over $100.
Yeah, it was.
I think that you need to invest into something. Sure, you might not
There's
use
a bug.
it.
Go ahead, you're good. I saved you.
Sure, you might not use this all the time, but when a situation arises, you want a quality first aid kit that is going to hold up and give you what you need.
Well, I've opened it and I've played around with it, and what I like about this first aid kit in particular, and I'm sure a lot of them have that, like I said, if this isn't the first aid kit for you, that's fine. I like the husband and wife owned concept. I think that's really freaking cool, and I like to support that type of business.
Yeah.
But more importantly, you know, you can hook this thing to anywhere. So typically where this is, well, not typically, where this is going to go now is right behind the driver's seat, because when we're with Cohen, he sits behind the passenger seat. So, and on the Jeep, it has the little straps that are on the back seat, and you can just hook this into the back, and it's always accessible, because I think the biggest deal is when something happens, like you have to be ready and be able to access your first aid kit. Our first aid kit now, do you know where it's at?
It's underneath in the compartment in the back, and everything goes on top of it. So if we were to need it in a emergency situation, we wouldn't be able to get to it. But there's no other place.
There's plenty of places to put it.
There's no other place to attach it. It didn't come with any
well, it was a
attachments.
piece of crap, and I think I've had that. We had that since our first trip to Havasu.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's 5 years old. So, and another thing about this first aid kit from Surviveware is that you can add to it. So they have a lot of stuff in it, but they also made it possible for you to kind of add your own set of gear, I guess, first aid equipment to it.
There's extra space for you to do so.
So there's extra spaces for you to put what you need or what you think your family may need in it. Now, like I said, I'm not huge on safety, but I know Mom is. And as things start to get a little crazier and we start to go on more and more trips, and the reality is when we're out, and I think when a lot of people are overlanding or a lot of people are off the grid, you're truly in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like you don't have any help. I mean, I know when we go camping, we're pretty far off the beaten path, and to get out of wherever you are to get to help, I mean, we're several hours away.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we're not anywhere close to a hospital or anywhere close to a place where we can call for help. I mean, we're deep. And I think that's a big part of this, is when you are traveling and you decide that you're going to go off the grid and you're going to kind of live that remote lifestyle, you're going to want to be prepared. And the first aid kit from Surviveware definitely gets my vote of approval.
2 thumbs up. And it's also...
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know what this system is called?
You know what the system's called.
The Molle System. But also...
That's pretty serious.
It's detachable. So if you have it in your car and you need to pull it off, use some extra force.
Oh, you can just pull that right off?
Yeah.
Well, show me, muscle. Heck yeah.
So it pulls right off, it detaches, so you don't have to waste time trying to get it off the Jeep and over to where it needs to be over to.
Now, we have looked at other first aid kits. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of first aid kits out there. You don't have to purchase this first aid kit. But the reality is, no matter how prepared you think you are, this is probably the one thing that is the easiest thing to pack and the easiest thing to be prepared for, because this kit from Surviveware actually, I mean, it's done. All you got to do is throw it in the Jeep. If you think about all the time you spend packing and all the time that you spend getting your rig prepared to go off-road, this is the easiest thing to pack. But for us, I mean, it was the most overlooked. Like, we never really even considered getting a comprehensive first aid kit that we knew could stand up to the elements, and also it's a really good value, just over $100. I think that's a really good deal. Some of the other ones we were looking at were roughly $200. So, you know, for us, I think it makes a lot of sense. Now, with this, if you guys want this one or you want to look for this one, you can click the link below and it'll take you to the Amazon account and you can purchase this directly off Amazon. Or if you want to save a little bit of money, we will put a coupon code and you can go directly to Surviveware's website and you can purchase this one off of Surviveware's website. And I think with our coupon code, you'll get 10% off. So it'll save you a little bit of money. If you buy it off Amazon, that's great. It definitely helps the channel. If not, and you find one that's more suitable for you, that's fine too. If there's something that you think we missed or a better first aid kit out there that you've seen or something that you've used, we'd love to hear about it, because for us, this is our first venture off into like a true first aid kit and really being prepared if something were to happen. So, is that all?
That is all.
I think that is a pretty good cover story. I'm gonna put some videos at the end, some shots at the end of the video of basically the interior, what it looks like, and some of the items that it has. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Let us know you're watching. If you like the video, like the video. If you don't like the video, don't do anything. Just go to the next video. You don't have to let us know you don't like it. You can just keep it to yourself. Cool. Thanks guys.